Good morning to you, our audience. Ted and Ed TV channel welcome each of you to our weekly Saturday broadcast where we give insightful views on economic, political, world, and environmental issues concerning how money connects those matters. Our hosts, Mr. Ted Harvey Sr. and Mr. Edward Bishop III, are now taking each of you into our world of money and its value, along with the evils that come from the greed of hoarding financial power. He that controls the gold controls the important decisions in this world.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Ted and Ed TV program, The Money Connection. Good morning, Ed. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Ted. How are you doing? And as usual, we have a big program scheduled here and a lot of things going on. I almost feel like the Rachel Maddow show or Lawrence O'Donnell show. Man, we got news coming in every second. So
everywhere,
man, there's so much to talk about here. I mean, it is just, I have a list of stuff here of some of the things that we're going to be talking about. Man, I filled up a page and a half of information, and there's still more stuff out there that we need to be talking about. So let's get started.
All right. Well, we have about maybe 10 different topics that we're going to be filling in. But one of the things that what I wanted to talk about is, and just real quickly, the Trump Russian dossier. That is very interesting. I don't even know all the details, but it's because it's sketchy. You got this guy who had written all kinds of information regarding what he believes to be coercion. And what has happened now, they claimed at first a Republican had bought it. And this he's dead now. He bought the information and then turned around. Somehow it got into the Clintons' situation, and they ended up getting it, and they paid for it. So I don't know what's going on. That's a big thing that's going on right now. And so they're going back and forth about this dossier. You fill us in, Ed. I know you up on it.
Well, from my reading of what went on and my observations today, now back in last year about this time, there was a lot of this stuff that we're hearing about and stuff now, what's going on, but it was out of our eyesight. So what had happened, I think, was that the Republicans picked this thing up and they paid this gentleman over there in England, who was a spy or a secret service person, to put together a dossier and stuff on Trump. And I believe why he did that, this Republican did it, because at the time, last year, this time, back during the summer of last year of 2016, no one really wanted Trump to win the Republican nomination. So Republicans took this thing on and they said, well, we're going to do this so we can destroy this guy, so we can put our own people and stuff here to take over the nomination and stuff. But after Trump had won the nomination, they was decided and stuff that, well, we can't bother anymore. And I think from what I'm reading and stuff is that the Clinton people and everything found out that this guy was putting together this dossier and everything. So the Clintons and the Democratic Party and stuff decided that they wanted to have this dossier, keep on going with it. They paid the gentleman and stuff then to keep on putting together this dossier against Trump. So right now, the Republican administration and the Congress or whatever, they are doing a good job and stuff of hiding a lot of these facts and everything that was in that dossier from the American people. Well, the information and stuff is out there if you really want to see it. but most people have not really taken upon themselves to go out there on the internet and find all the dossier information. And because they haven't, nobody's really talking about it. Nobody knows anything about it. But there are some devastating things and stuff in that dossier that is really disparaging to 45. And like I said, the Republicans have done a pretty good job of hiding him from that, because they are using 45 for their own their own purposes, and they keep him there. So as long as they can keep him from being, insulate him from all this other bad stuff that's out there, as long as he can stay there in power, and as long as they can put forth their agenda out there. And they're doing a pretty good job of doing it. So
ain't no question about that, because all he got to do is just sign a piece of paper.
Absolutely.
He don't even, 45 is not even involved mentally, physically, or whatever. He just signs the paper and whatever they put in his face. But one thing that we know what's going to happen next week is Mulder has already put it out there that he's getting ready to indict people. You heard about that, right? Robert Mueller. Yeah. He's getting ready to indict.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing in itself also, because from talking to a lot of and seeing a lot of the experts and stuff in this situation, U.S. attorneys and stuff out there, whatever, putting together an investigation and the magnitude that Robert Mueller has gotten it takes a long time to do that, and he's only been at this for about 5 or 6 months. So they are very, very concerned about the fact that he is already starting to put indictments and stuff together. But I think if you really look at what's going on and stuff out there and read what's happening, if you can read between the lines, you will see that there's something that happened in the House of Representatives and the Senate that probably sped up his timetable for those indictments. And that was the fact that the Senate and the House committees and stuff who were investigating the Russian collusion and stuff in our election had decided that they were going to close down their investigation. So when they did that, Mueller, he had to come forth with something here to keep this thing going, because I believe that Republicans now have a plan and stuff in mind to shut this thing down and to tell the American people, don't worry about this, and that there is no problem, that they couldn't find any collusion between Trump and the Russians and stuff out there. And once that happened, this would blunt his investigation and stuff out there. He couldn't continue to keep on going and to doing what he's doing. So right now he has to bring forth some indictments and stuff. And as we see, we don't know who he has indicted, and we don't know how long it's going to be before he bring forth those names or whatever, because it's supposed to be.
I think it's going to be Flynn and Manafort.
Manafort.
That's who I think. Manafort. I think it's going to be those two. But anyway, we know that we got to wait for that, and that's going to happen. But one of the things that we have to be on guard about is what are these people are doing behind the scenes. I'm talking about Congress and the Senate, man. They're doing all kind of crazy things. You got the tax thing that's going on. I was just reading an article the other day regarding the SEC chairman. Man, I mean, he's doing some stuff that's ridiculous. He's turned around and they did something like last year, I don't know how many millions of dollars, something like almost $1 trillion as far as picking up fraud from the exchange, catching all these people that's doing fraudulent things. Jay Clayton, he's the SEC chairman, and he's actually shuffled the focus from corporations to fraud involving retail people, the brokers, retail involving retail investors. And so he then went from this year, from February to September, he's actually, the civil cases have gone down to 127 million. And at that same time, between February and September, they had already captured, they're down like $710 million as far as catching all these people that's doing this fraudulent things in the SEC, the stock market. The watchdogs are not watching the real fraudulent people. So that's the problem. And then they went on and let loose this thing as far as the banks goes. So really, these people, the art of capitalism is really no regulations. That's the art of capitalism. No regulations. Do whatever you want to do, and forget about the consumer. Forget about protecting the consumer's credit card. Forget about protecting their banks. Forget about protecting them on loans. So, like, if they want to do predatory lending again, they can go ahead and start doing that. Don't have to worry about having the cash available in the bank to take care of these loans, because all the banks going to be too big to fail now. Again, it's going to start right back over. But anyway, another thing that's going on in the business world is all these retail stores are either gone out of business or they're closing stores like crazy. Now, I don't know if you remember, but you remember Circuit City? That's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Borders is gone.
Mm-hmm.
KB Toys are gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I can name probably another dozen. But the point is that all these companies are gone. But now the retail stores now that are closing stores like crazy. I mean, JCPenney has closed hundreds of stores, and they're getting ready to close a couple more hundred almost. So you got about 22 retailers right now that are going to be closing stores. Radio Shack, been around since the early 1900s, has already closed 7,300 stores. They're only going to have 70 left. So, and then you got Kmart's, you got Guess, you got Chico's, you got Sears, you got Macy's. All these stores are going to be shut down. Now, the one thing that you have to realize is that people have to go shopping, and where are they going to shop, Ed? How are they going to shop?
Well, the only place that they're going to be able to go and shop is Walmart.
On the internet.
Walmart is sitting there, or they need to have internet access and go on the internet. But we have to realize and stuff right now, Ted, that we have at least 50% of our population and stuff now who are at or near the poverty line. And most of them only make 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, sometimes $15 an hour. And making those types of wages and stuff, your main focus and stuff at that time, depending on how many offsprings you have, is to take care of your car, your insurance on your car, take care of your rent, and put food in your mouth. And along with that, you got your expenses and stuff for buying your little clothes to go to work or whatever. And most people and stuff, to make a decent living, both if they're a 2-parent household, both of them have 2 jobs. If there's a 1-parent household, sometimes that one parent has 3 jobs that they have to go to. And how they are maintaining this, I don't know, but they're doing it. And if you don't have the monies to go to these local stores and on Saturdays or Fridays and do your shopping because you are working so hard and you are exhausted and you don't even have the type of money that it takes to go out there and buy these things, these stores are going to close. So that philosophy that's going on right now that Republicans are still trying to put up on us is that we need to give tax breaks to the corporation, to the businesses. So where the business is going, Ted, they're going away. That philosophy doesn't work. And they're continuing to feed us this information. Give the tax breaks to the businesses. if so, they gave tax breaks to these stores who are closing down, and they're still closing. So, what about that philosophy?
Yeah, I mean, capitalism is based on
you have to buy.
Yeah, it's based on supply and demand, and you have all of these advertising dollars that's going out, which creates a desire for a particular product, and
but if you don't have anybody to buy your products, you're not going to stay in business.
Right, and the thing is that you have to have, you're giving these people all these tax incentives, and they're not reinvesting into the company as far as brick and mortar, so that you can have people working in those particular jobs that's going to be doing retail and customer service and all of that, unless they're going to take all that stuff overseas. And as far as their customer service, we already know that hundreds of thousands of jobs are overseas right now. As far as customer service, you got banks using them all over the place. Customer service, you don't know who you're talking to. You can be talking to someone in India. You can talk to someone in who knows. Now they tell us now, prisoners are doing customer service now.
They're paying them low wages. They're paying those low wages. They're paying.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's the point that I was trying to make, is that you have to pay your employees. Now, you are giving tax breaks to the companies and stuff, but you're taking your employees are paying more taxes, because most of the taxes are being paid by your employees. They are, and those taxes are not in federal taxes. Those taxes are in user fees. You got sales tax. You got taxes on all your products you buy and everything. You've got taxes that you're going to spend on your utilities. You got taxes you're going to spend on your media. You got taxes that you're going to spend on everything you buy. And those taxes and stuff go to finance your state, local, and federal government. So when these consumers are spending all their money and stuff in taxes, they don't have a lot of disposable income to go out there and buy these companies' properties. And you're right, these companies should be, even though they're getting a tax break, they should be investing in putting more money into their employees' pockets so they can go out and buy their products. But they're not doing that, because they think that as long as they can keep their wages low and everything, that they're going to increase their profit. Because guess what? Wall Street says that your store has to be profitable. And when you are not making enough money, what's going to happen? Wall Street is going to lower your stock prices.
That's right. And then what they're going to do is, in order to keep the costs down, they're going to close all these stores to keep the costs down, keep the labor down. And then therefore, then they're going to say, oh, well, you're doing a great job. Then they start investing into your company. So that's what happens. So the game is played. But the thing is, with that game, you got, do you realize that 1% that people that play in the market does 80% of the business and doing or playing the game of the stock market, So that game is being played by people that's making money. It's just money making money. That's all it is. They're not producing anything. They're just money making money, putting money in. The stock is $20. 2 weeks later is $30, and they get the profits from it. And basically that money is coming from retirement. That's coming from people that's, the small mom and pop person that call themselves investing, from the stockbroker and all that kind of thing. But one thing about the stocks market, coming to the stock market deal, back to that, is that most of these brokers, all these different types of financial companies, they have supercomputers. It's done by artificial intelligence, AI. They automatically, they automatically, when they have their clients who a multi-billion-dollar client, hey, all they do is just put it in the computer, and they see a share of stock that's going up. They just invest in that particular company, and then as soon as it goes up $1 or $2, hey, they buy it, millions and millions of shares, and then as soon as it starts going down, they just sell it. And so they make 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 billion dollars just on keeping the stock for half a day or a day. So it's a game. So
they have found ways to make money.
That's right. 75% of the thing is done by AI. You know, the other 20%, 30%, whatever it is, you know, these people that do this day trading, all that, they got to look at 5 and 6 computers and figure out what share is going up, what share is going down. That right there is just, you know, you might make a few $1,000s a day, you know, if you get that kind of time to be, you know, in craziness to look at those kinds of stocks every day. But you can make money in the stock market. But the point is that it's a risk and a big risk unless you're following all of these major broker houses that's buying and selling every minute, every day.
And you have to have huge sums of money to invest into those stock markets.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If you don't have a lot of money, you can't invest in there because a lot of those stock prices and stuff are very high. They got stock prices out there, $1,000 a share. So, and most of us who are out there, we can't afford to buy those shares at all. We can't afford it.
You know, even $100, you know, even, you know, you got, you know, McDonald's, like I think I've mentioned this several times, McDonald's, you know, 25 years ago was only 29, and now they're over $29 a share. Now they're over $100 and something a share. So, you know, most people can't buy 5 shares or 10 shares. You know, you can dollar cost average, you know, and start buying stocks and you know, and then you can, you know, in good companies that's going to make you some money in the long run, but you got to keep that into that money in there for years before that stock goes up. You know, so 25 years ago, $29, now it's over $100. And if you dollar cost average and say that you buy 4 or 5 shares a month, if you know, you're gonna have some money in there because that share is gonna go up, and that's how you do it. You know, that's the Buffett rule.
Yeah, you know? and then we have to consider that in 2008 there was that stock market crash and stuff there. So a lot of those small investors, like you talked,
401ks,
lost a lot of money, buddy, in that thing, and a lot of people went broke and everything and stuff doing that. But the people who did have all the monies and stuff and everything, they recouped all their losses and everything, and they're right back to doing what they were doing before. So the little guy is always the one who's going to be wind up on the losing end of stuff, that stock market. So as you were saying, the little man can't invest into the stock market. So my question would be, Ted, is to where should the little man go to start making money? Where should we go to start letting our folks and stuff make money?
That's a good question.
How do we do that?
Well,
like you said, the stores are closing. So that means that all the people and stuff who are working in the service departments and everything, they've lost their jobs. You're looking at these big corporations and stuff now, they're allowing these companies to go broke or whatever, and you constantly have these stockbrokers out there and these hedge fund managers and stuff who are making huge sums of money, and we're talking billions of dollars and stuff. So what does that small person do? What does that lower 50%? Or as one of our presidential candidates and stuff said when he was running against Barack Obama, that 47%.
Well, it's so many things, but the one thing that people have to realize, you know, like if you are in that 50, 60,000 or below income range, you know, because you have all these expenses, and then you got some people what they classify as in the poverty range, you know, making $15,000, $20,000 a year. You have to collaborate. You know, you have to figure out a way and make a sacrifice. You know, you might not have internet at home, but you can go to the library. That's free. You can go to the coffee house. That's free. You have internet where you can go. And right now there are so many home-based, even, you know, businesses that you can work at home with a computer. is crazy. I mean, you might not make but $15,000 extra, but that's $20,000 extra in your pocket. You know, if you got a few hours a week, you can do that. You can make money with a computer, a phone, and a printer. But that's an investment. And there's all kind of ways to make money. If you learn how to be computer savvy nowadays, you don't have to program stuff. Years ago when I first got into computers, 30, 40 years ago, you had to know some programming things to get on the internet, to get on the computer. Now, all you have to do is just sign on and go to a certain website and learn how to do certain things. There's all kind of jobs that's available. That's one of the, collaboration as far as what I was talking about earlier is basically team up with some people and figure out, hey, what do you love? What do you like? What are you interested in? So therefore, if you're interested in, for example, selling soda pop, you can team up with people selling soda pop, buy wholesale, sell retail right out your house. I mean, it's a hustle. Everything is a hustle.
But didn't you do an article on hustling, Ted?
I did an article on hustling. Everything is a hustle.
Yeah.
If you really want to make some money.
Yeah, that's what some of our viewers should do. Go out there and look at our posts out there that's going on, because we got a lot of information out there for people to do some things. And if you go out there and read those posts, you're going to find out. And if you don't understand how to do those things, you can contact us through admin at ted-ed moneyconnection.com. Just email us and we can give you some more ideas about what you can do. We also have a webpage out there, come to think of it, where we're going to be putting out there about jobs and careers. And we're in the process and stuff of building those pages and stuff and everything. And hopefully by sometime the end of next month, and then we'll have that page and stuff built where a lot of our viewers can go and look on our page out there for careers and jobs and see where there's jobs that are around this country.
Absolutely. And that's a great job. And I mean, that's a great thing to have where we want to put as many jobs as we can on that page. The thing about it though, the good jobs, sometimes you might have to go out of state. You might have to move, if you want to, you might have to relocate. And I know a lot of people don't like doing that, but that's what people do nowadays. You have to relocate. And now a lot of times, of course, we were talking about the computer thing, you can do things right at home, you can be mobile. Mm-hmm. But sometimes if you want these plus jobs, making $80,000, $90,000, $100,000, and you got the skill and education, you might have to move out of state. And some people are moving out of the country, going, looking for these, $150,000, $200,000 jobs. So the thing is, if you got your skills and education down pat, that's what you have to do. You do what you have to do to survive, because we live in a capitalist society and it's all about the money. If you're not making money, then you're going to be living below standards, and maybe some people are content with that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Which leads me to one of our things that we basically talk about is one of our what we call as our spiritual section, regarding things that sort of kind of motivate us, or I would say inform us about really the Word of God. Last week, I had spoke something about wisdom, and I think wisdom. And I'll read that scripture. Let's see if I can find it here. One of the things about wisdom is that, it helps you really with happiness. Wisdom is happiness, because wisdom is sort of like knowledge, experience, and common sense, and you get your wisdom from God. And the one thing, the verse this week I'm going to mention is from the verse Proverbs 7. It says, wisdom is the principal thing Therefore, get wisdom, and in all your getting, get an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the things that with wisdom, that understanding is reason. That understanding is being considered. That understanding is listening. That understanding, because a lot of times, you might misinterpret what people are saying, and then if you listen to the person, you have a better understanding of what their feelings are, what their emotions are, or what their logical thinking is. You thinking that you might understand that person, but you really don't. You don't really understand that person. So it's always wise to listen and then get an understanding. And then you can take the knowledge and experience from what you have and common sense to
Mm-hmm.
be able to get along with that person or that corporation or any situation. So that's my word today. What is yours, Ed?
Oh, mine's is from Job's and stuff, chapter 22 or 21. Acquaint now thyself with him and be at peace. And I read that and I was looking at it. I was looking at something because a couple of things happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I was involved in a dispute and stuff at the YMCA where I do my exercises at. And for some reason or another, the Y did not want to accommodate the seniors and stuff who were doing exercises in the pool. And they only gave us a little small section and told us that we needed to do our exercises right there. Well, I was so upset by that I was so angry, and I said, well, I'm going to write somebody and stuff, and I'm going to tell them that they shouldn't be doing us like this. And I realized writing that, and I read what I had wrote while I was angry, that what I had said was not really realistic. And I realized and stuff then that I kind of took one of my major things that I tell my kids and stuff to do, and what I tell people around me to do. You should never write or say or do anything in anger, and you should be at peace at all times when you're making major decisions. And if you are not at peace, then you are going to make some terrible decisions. So I'm saying
Absolutely.
this, yeah, acquaint thyself with him and be at peace at all times. Okay. Now we forgot one too also about healthy living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holistic health. Yeah.
Holistic health, alternative health. We talked about that last week and everything, and we got some other things we want to say and stuff to our audience and stuff this week and stuff about staying healthy. That's one of the things and stuff that we have to start doing, and if we don't do it, we're not going to live very long. In the last year, Ted, I have had probably um, 15 people and stuff in my family and friends that I know who have contracted cancer.
Mm.
And I just found out yesterday that one of my wife's best friends, her son had contracted cancer, and he was having a very difficult time. So we need to look out for our health. If we want to be okay and we want to keep our quality of life up, we need to follow some rules and stuff. And one of them is, like the doctor's always telling us, you got to get that weight down. If you're not, if you, as long as you got all that fat and everything on you, you're not going to live very healthy. So doing that, you need to go out and do exercises. Like my wife and I, we go to the Y every day, and we spend an hour and stuff doing exercise. Now everybody can't do that, but if you can't do that, then take a walk
Absolutely.
around. Walk to where you got to go. Take the walk around your work site or whatever. You got a big building and stuff. Get out there and start walking. Forget about just sitting down and not doing a thing. Stand up and walk. And then you need to reduce that stress. We have
That's
to
the number one
realize
killer there, bud.
number one killer, man. You get that stress off of you. If you don't get that stress off of you, you're gonna be in terrible shape. You're gonna find yourself all tensed up constantly all the time, and bad things start happening when that thing goes on. And we have a family, and if you're working 2 and 3 jobs and stuff during the week, you need to take some time to spend with your family, whether you sitting down at the table and talking to your children and stuff about what happened in school, whether you take some time to go to your son or your daughter's baseball game, or basketball game, or volleyball game, or soccer game. You need to take that time. If you don't do it, but 2 or 3 hours and stuff a week, take some time with your family and spend some time with them and understand what's going on with them also. And that helps out and stuff in our overall mental health.
Absolutely. One of the things that I wanted to bring up is some tools that you can do as far as your health. And one of the tools today is that I have is baking soda.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. The wonders of baking soda. I'm telling you, you can use it as a natural deodorant. You can use it for insects and bites and poison ivy. You can use it even for heartburn, indigestion, and ulcer pain, and on and on. I mean, just Google it, audience, because I'm telling you, if you take a teaspoon of that every day, you'd be surprised. You'll feel a lot better. I mean, there's so many medicinal purposes that it can do for you that, it's too many to really. You can soak your feet in it, and
Yeah.
relax. That'll take some of that stress away from you. Because seriously, natural remedies are a big thing for me. Because I don't like to take medication. I hate it. I don't like taking that, because really all it is, a lot of it, I mean, it has its purposes. Now, don't get me wrong. Take the medication the doctor prescribed to you. Okay, that's fine. But, whenever I'm given medication, to be honest with you, I might take it for a few days and then I'm done with it. I'm not going to take the whole stuff, because, it ain't doing with putting poison in, and then it's going to, because, you ever seen those commercials, Ed?
Yeah.
After the commercial, they tell you all the different effects it's going to have on you.
Absolutely. And right down the bottom, if you read that small print. Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah. But I wanted to say also, too, I was kind of embarrassed about doing this, but you talked about baking soda, and that's why I laugh so much, is because about twice a week and everything, I'll brush my teeth with baking soda.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And for some reason or another, it helps keep my teeth clean and everything. So
yeah,
there
absolutely.
are a lot of medicinal purposes and everything for baking soda.
Absolutely. So there you go.
Yeah. And
hey,
go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I was just getting ready to change the subject right quick, but you got something else on it?
No, I know. I was just going to bring about our next subject and stuff, and that was we talking about this billionaire, Stenner. I guess his name is Stenner. And
you talking about the one that did the commercial?
Yeah, and I'm hoping that some of our audience and stuff get a chance to go out there and look at it. How he had put together a campaign and stuff now to impeach our president, 45, and how he has gathered a lot of people out there to send in their requests and everything and stuff, if you think that our president need to be impeached. So
well, we'll see what happens.
If you get a chance, look at the ad that he has out there, because he spent a lot of money and stuff on it, and it speaks loudly and stuff about what's going on. And I think, if nothing else, if we don't do anything at all about the impeachment of it and everything, that we do cause him to pause and stuff, and to realize maybe understand that what's going on and stuff with him, and how he is responding and stuff to this country, and how he is destroying our image and stuff in the world, and that he at least tries to start doing something, or that the Congress and stuff decide that they can't continue to just let him run roughshod and stuff on this country, and try to do something to rein him in, and let him know that, he's a non-entity and stuff there, and he can just sit there in that White House while we run this country and stuff, and start doing something positive and stuff for the people and stuff around us. And I'm hoping that you and I were talking about this tax reform that is going through the Congress and stuff right now, and I'm seeing so many Republican senators and Republican congressmen and stuff and everything who are just gung ho on giving these huge tax breaks and everything to these corporations and stuff. And I'm
And
understanding,
billionaires.
yeah, and billionaires, and I'm wondering and stuff why these people need tax breaks. Why? I don't understand. Why would these people are
So they keep
billionaires?
more. Well,
Why
I
would
don't
they
think.
want more tax breaks?
Well, they would say like a couple of $100 million or what have you in the long run, 500 million, million. But the thing is, this is the thing, is that your congressmen and senators, half of them are millionaires, multi-millionaires. Feinstein worth over 100 million. Pelosi worth almost 100 million, and on and on. You had one congressman who was worth almost a half a billion. I'm sorry. And so you got all these people that are millionaires. You got Rand. What's his name? Ryan.
Rand Paul.
Not Rand Paul, but Ryan. Ryan makes over $1 million a year working for the government now. And his family is worth almost Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan is worth his net worth is like $10 million. He gonna get some big tax breaks, bro. So they're all for themselves too. They're not talking about you say, well, we're gonna trickle it down, and then you might get something, because we already know that 40% of the American population hardly pays any taxes. The rest of the people, and then the top 25% of the people, they pay taxes. They take, those people that are making those absorbent incomes. But the people that should really be paying, and where they're taking this real money out, is at what they call is the death tax. That tax, when people pass away and they're worth billions of dollars, if they haven't set, they have to pay a certain percentage, because those funds go to their state. So that's the thing that they want to get. They want to cut that. They want to eliminate that altogether. So therefore, it just transfers right over to the children, and the children don't pay any taxes on that money.
But Ted, I look back and when Obama was the president, everybody wanted to talk about reducing the national debt. When you start giving tax away, then you are increasing the debt.
That's right.
And what happened to the Republican cry and stuff about reducing the debt? All the time they were telling Obama, we got to reduce the debt. We got to reduce the debt. They did the same thing with Clinton. Reduce the debt. Reduce the debt. After Reagan and Bush ran the debt up, then they tell Clinton, you got to bring the debt down. Now Bush then ran the debt back up again, and they told Obama, you got to bring the debt back down. The debt back down. Now Trump back in there, they're going to take the debt right back up.
The thing is, it's going to be, he's going to bring it back up for another, I think he's going to bring it up to another $3 trillion. So it's going to be about 25 trillion.
We can't stand that.
Well, here's the thing though, Ed, the way the finance thing is working. See, they look at what's the GDP, gross domestic product, and then they also they look at other issues as far as how much money is coming into the coffers. So if you got right now we're doing about 4 trillion a year that's coming in.
Well,
so
I'm hoping that the CBO, once they score this tax cut that they're talking about bringing in, and I hope that they can get that thing scored before they pass this daggone tax cut. If they can get the CBO to score it before they pass the tax cut, then it's going to show that debt is going to be tremendous and stuff and that. And then you're going to see you're going to see the hypocrisy in the Republicans who've been crying about the debt, or you're going to see it and just take it all the way up and taking this country into more and more debt to which we can't afford. And in turn, you're lowering the value of the dollar, because I don't know if you've been looking at it and stuff, but the value of the dollar has been going down. It's not been going down fast, but the value of the dollar has been going down. And that's not good.
Well, to the finance people is good because but one of the things that I wanted to bring to you, just to switch the subject, is your almighty iPhone. Don't they have an iPhone 10 coming out?
Yes, it is. They've had the pre-order already and stuff and everything.
And it's $999. Is that correct?
I'll just say $1,000.
But wait a minute. I just read an article the other day, and they said that Best Buy is going to charge an additional $100. And then something other kind of expense they're going to have. So it ends up going to cost you about $1,300.
Absolutely. And people are buying them. They're buying them. They've already did the pre-order and everything, and they've already exceeded their pre-order number for what they have out there that's going to come, that they're going to be able to get on November the 3rd. They're going to let people who pre-ordered the iPhone 10 or the iPhone X, as I call them, and they're going to have to come in there and they're going to get those phones. And they're already up to $1,000. That's base cost for the regular base unit. And you're talking about 64 gigabytes of memory of storage space and stuff on there. That's just the base. Now, if you go up to 120, well, and they're not selling 120s anymore. They're selling 256 gigabyte hard drives and stuff on them phones. But they're charging those people $1,100 a month, $1,100 to get those items. And I looked at it, and I've been reading about it, and this country is paying the lowest amount of money for the iPhone.
How much are they selling elsewhere?
Man, they're almost up to $2,000, man, in some of those countries like India and China, in the UK, in the European Union and stuff. Those people are paying $1,400, $1,500, $1,600 and stuff for an iPhone, and they're buying them. I've talked to people and told them, I said, they are sitting there and they are waiters and waitresses and stuff in our restaurants, in local restaurants. And I'm saying, I saw this one young lady, I said, man, you got a real nice iPhone there, but you know they got those iPhone 10s getting ready to come out. They're going to be $1,000. And she said, no problem, I'm going to buy it.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
I can't afford it, Ted.
That's the new millennium's lifeblood, bro.
I guess.
Because right now they are the biggest market. The new millennium's the biggest market right now that's going on. And there's only certain things that they're going to buy. They don't, new millenniums, not these so-called new millenniums, I forget the age range, but I think it goes up to as high as 35, I think it is.
35.
So the thing is that they're not into cars. They're not into houses, and purchasing cars and houses. They're into phones, because as far as they're concerned, they can take a Uber, and everywhere they go, or, local transportation. Absolutely. So, and a lot of them really now, they're not into clothes, because, shorts and T-shirts and, whatever. And,
blue jeans with a hole in it. They got a hole in the blue jeans in the knees. And they're worth millions of dollars, and they got blue jeans with holes in them.
That's right. And the thing about it is that these marketers that's out there, looking at these trends, they're looking at what they're spending their money on, and that's where the money is going. The days of the mall, and we were just talking about that earlier, the days of the malls and these big department stores is over, because the new millenniums are not buying like the boomers and the what was the generation before that, X generation or whatever it was.
X, yeah.
And so there you go. So that's it. But now switching gears, check this out. 45 is getting ready to possibly get a new chair for the Federal Reserve. That's a big deal. Mm-hmm. So who is that going to be? Because, see, that's going to manipulate a whole lot of things. We don't know what they're going to do, what his plan is, but he's talked about the Federal Reserves, and a whole lot of things. Maybe he's going to change the subject, and he's going to actually have an audit. You know, that's the big, that has been the outcry. You know, the Federal Reserve has never been audited, and they're in charge of billions and trillions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But that's one of the things that you can look at too, as far as, you know, when it comes to this money thing.
Okay. So, Mr. Harvey, we are just about at the end of our broadcast and stuff here, and I'm hoping that our viewers and stuff have enjoyed this hour that we've given to them, and talking about all the finances and politics going on out there. And we're hoping that they come out and like us on Facebook and come and visit our website.
Look at some of our blogs, because we got at least 100 and almost 150 of them.
No, we have 68 as of yesterday, and we've got several more coming down the pipe here. I've got about 5 of them that I'm getting ready to put together and stuff for next week. So every week you should be looking at our blog, and you
absolutely
seeing new articles out there, and they're going to be some very, very interesting articles that I'm putting together. Very interesting. Some of them and stuff are very, very I thought was, oh man, it was just horrible. And it has to do with patients and stuff who have cancer, who are trying to treat themselves because they can't get insurance or whatever.
Wow, that's horrible.
Yeah, that is horrible, man. And it's going on out there in a lot of places and stuff around this country and outside this country and stuff, what they're doing because they can't get health care and stuff to help take care of them. So, man, that was a real bummer and stuff when I read that. And then I've had some other articles that's getting ready to come out talking about jobs out there, and where jobs and stuff are available, and some part-time jobs that people can start looking at, where they can start making money and stuff. And you touched upon that earlier about how they can use their computers and stuff and everything to go out there and find jobs. Well, there are companies and stuff out there now that are set up on their website where you can log in and you put your credentials and stuff into the website and let people know and let them know what you know how to do, what your profession is, and your knowledge and stuff in these particular fields. And what they do is that they put your information and stuff out there on the web. So when people want to find out about how to do a startup, what to do about their taxes, what to do about fixing their cars, all kinds of different things about plumbing and all that, they have a chance to call you up or contact you, and then you answer some questions and stuff for them, and then you get paid for doing that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all kind of ways to make money.
All kind of ways to make money.
Just got to hustle.
Gotta hustle. Okay, Ted, I'll be talking to you next week, my brother.
Hey, you know, Halloween, I just wanted to bring this last thing up. Halloween is coming up, right?
It's the 31st, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
$9 billion is going to be spent on Halloween.
Hey.
$9 billion.
Somebody's going to make some money, right?
I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there, you know. That's another hustle. Make some costume. No, I'm just playing. But anyway, it's been we had a nice time, great time. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And we will be here next week, God willing, every week, every Saturday. And like Ed mentioned last week, we're working on trying to do a daily one pretty soon. And hopefully we can get that done pretty soon.
Okay.
All righty.
Bye, everyone.